Zorba Paster is taking your medical calls at 270-9933, and Zorba is here in studio. You are just back from a remarkable trip.
Yes,
Tell us
remarkable trip. So I went to India, to Dharamsala, where His Holiness the Dalai Lama is, and I met with him at about a tuberculosis project that we're doing. And our goal is to get rid of TB in children, Tibetan children in India. So far, year one, we've screened 5,000 kids. We have 15,000 kids to go, and we've picked up lots of TB, and basically our goal is to wipe it out. And through very generous donors and others, people can always donate. We have managed to really make an impression on that and get rid of that tuberculosis.
It's a serious issue in that part of the world?
Oh, it's very serious. Our rate of TB, for every 100,000 people in Wisconsin, 3 have TB. In India, it's 156. Per 100,000 people. Among Tibetan children, it's a whopping 950. It's rampant, and it can be, it can be stamped out just like it was in the U.S.
This has to change your life, this experience.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Definitely changes our life. And to go to the children's places, because they're orphanages where they are, and hear the parents, the teachers, and some are parents that actually drop their kids off because they're too poor to take care of them. To hear them say thank you is kind of an amazing thing.
All right, well, welcome back.
Thank you.
All right, let's get to the calls. We have some questions for you, Zorba. Let's start with John in Janesville. Hi, John.
Hi, doctor.
Yeah.
Hi.
See, I just had successful radiation treatment for prostate cancer, and the only drawbacks I had was frequent urination at night. It had to get me up. So the doctor put me on Flomax, and I was looking online, and I don't know if it's a good thing or not. There's some side effects.
Oh, it is. It's a very good drug. But like every drug, drugs have side effects. So what you have to do is decide what's the benefit, what's the risk of taking it. Flomax is a common drug that's used to help men with urination, sort of not from urinating as frequently. It's a very good drug, and most men tolerate it quite well.
All right, very good. Let's go to Pat in Sauk City. Hi, Pat. What's your question? Pat, are you there? Hold on.
Pat.
Hi, Pat. Go ahead. Sorry about that. What's your question?
My granddaughter has TB in her cheek.
Oh,
And she is scheduled for surgery in a month or so. And I have never heard of this before.
Well, TB can actually go all over the body. Pott's disease, which was TB of the spine, was a very common thing back in the 1900s. And TB can actually occur in the cheek and in other places of the body. TB is the #1 killer in the world, more than malaria, more than AIDS, and 1 billion people a year are infected with the bug. Most don't actually have active TB, but it is the #1 killer in the world that we don't talk about much because it's not common in the U.S.
Yeah.
So you're still vaccinate for that?
There's no vaccination for TB. We vaccinate for smallpox and a whole bunch of other things, but we have no vaccination for TB. They haven't yet been able to figure out how to vaccinate for the bug. Bug is smarter than we are.
What was that thing we got as kids?
You got smallpox. That's what it was, and we no longer do that. And kids don't get that anymore.
Well, that's good. All right, we do have a call here. I'm not sure where we're at with them. Okay. A lot of these, old-time diseases are coming back.
Well, that's it.
Because some people are not getting vaccinations.
Well, that's it. And that's one of the problems. We have great vaccinations. We have vaccinations for pneumonia. There's a new shingle shot, which is much better than the old shingle shot. Anyone who even had the old shingle shot, their recommendation is to get the new one, which is 90 to 95% effective. The old one was only 60% effective.
Who gets
and
that?
Shingles is awful. Everyone over the age of 60 should actually have it who had chickenpox. And people over the age of 60, they had chickenpox.
And I've had shingles.
And how did you like it?
Not fun.
Not fun, exactly. And you should get the new shingles vaccine too, because it'll keep you from getting it. Anyone can get it. And it's out. It's been out now for about a week or 2 weeks.
2 shots from it.
Immunocompromised, then you have to always check with your doctor. But everyone should have it. It's 2 shots.
Yeah,
that is correct.
I saw my doctor last week. You should get this. All right, let's go to Tom in Madison. Hi, Tom. Tom, you there?
Hello?
Hi, go ahead.
I had prostate and bladder cancer, and I was just wondering, like the last month or so, on my front of my right side, it's always like gurgling, or it's like, like your stomach, how it grumbles when you're hungry. What is causing that? It's Once in a while you get like a sharp pain, but not often.
Well, you know, it could be anything, and that's really where you need a visit to the doctor. That's important. If you've had two kinds of cancer and you've got some kind of symptoms, that's really where a call to your doctor really makes a difference.
Hard to do that over the phone.
Absolutely,
too.
and it's important to do.
Yeah.
All right. This is Tom. Tom, go ahead.
Hi, this is Tom.
Yep, go ahead.
All right. I have pulmonary fibrosis, a lung disease, and there are no support groups in Madison that I know of. I was just curious if you've run into anything like that.
Yeah, I've not run into any support groups. Pulmonary fibrosis is where your lungs are not elastic enough, and there's a treatment that may actually improve things, but unfortunately it's one of those things where we don't have a cure, and over time it becomes harder and harder to breathe. Support groups are very important for anything that is chronic like that.
Absolutely. All right, let's go to Keith in Oregon. Hi, Keith.
Hello.
Hi, go ahead, Keith.
Yeah, I have some real bad problems with neuropathy. I have no feeling left in my feet, and I'm getting it in my fingers and hands now.
Right.
And just wondering if there's anything to help besides what the heck am I taking? I'm sorry, I can't remember the pill I'm taking, but
Well, the
I take enough of it.
The most common drugs for neuropathy are drugs that we actually use for seizures. A drug called gabapentin, another drug called Lyrica that can be very, very useful. And the thing with neuropathy is diabetic neuropathy is the most common form of neuropathy, but there are many other kinds of neuropathy. Having a good workup to find out if there's something else that you can actually do to help decrease the neuropathy makes a big difference. But having a good relationship with your doctor to find out which medicine works for you, that's really what counts. And neuropathy is terrible. Tingling in your fingers and with your toes and stuff, it can be very problematic.
All right. Well, we're out of time. Thank you all for calling in, and welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Good
much.
to be back.
All right, we'll be right back.